sci-fi horror movies I watch.
Sci-fi horror is just such a great genre. It combines two of my absolute favorite types of movies. But it can be a bit of a mixed bag, especially over the last year. For every good one we got, like Alien Romulus or Lisa Frankenstein, we get crap like Afraid or Y2K. Now, this past weekend gave us Companion, the latest release in the sci-fi horror genre. So what do we have here? Is Companion one of the good ones, a solid addition to this wonderful genre, or is it more dull crap? Well, before we answer that, let's talk a little bit about the plot for the movie Companion.
Let's have a chat first.
So our story begins with a young woman named Iris. She recounts the moment that she met her boyfriend Josh at a grocery store. Sometime later, Iris and Josh travel to an isolated lake house to meet their friends, Kat, Eli, Patrick, as well as Sergey, Kat's boyfriend and the owner of the lake house. Later in the night, Kat confesses her disdain to Iris about her, explaining that the idea of Iris makes her feel replaceable. Iris doesn't know what to make of this. The next day, Sergey attempts to rape Iris at the lake, confessing it was Kat's idea. He refuses to stop and she kills him by stabbing him in the neck. Blood-soaked, she returns to the house, attempts to explain to Josh what happened before he tells her, "Iris, go to sleep," and then suddenly she does. Iris regains consciousness and finds herself tied to a chair. It's then that Josh reveals that Iris is actually a companion robot and that all her memories are programmed. Iris doesn't believe him at first, but then it dawns on her that he is correct. Before he shuts her down and reprograms her, however, Iris is able to escape. Now the hunt is on for Iris as she attempts to flee Josh and his friends, whose secret plans to use Iris begin to unravel. So what works in this film? Well, we get really good acting from our cast. Jack Quaid plays Josh. He's best known as Huey from the show The Boys. Josh comes across as a sweet and lovable, if somewhat dorky guy, but we quickly learn that he has a very deep dark streak. I also loved Sophie Thatcher as Iris. Now, Thatcher was brilliant in last year's Heretic. It's one of my favorite movies, and she is really strong here as the innocent Iris who has to fight through her programming to survive. I'm really growing to love her as a performer. The rest of the cast is pretty strong as well. I found myself invested in every character. The effects are really good here, relying mostly on practical effects with some mild CG put in here and there to augment the practical effects. It's really well done. Drew Hancock wrote and directed this. It's his first time doing a feature-length film, and he does a really good job, especially directing. He really gets the most out of his cast and out of his story.
Any complaints?
What doesn't work here is that while it's pretty well written, it is a bit short. It's about an hour and 37 minutes. It's that rare movie where you would like to see maybe a little bit more. Maybe 2 hours might have been better. I wanted a bit more story about this world. And it doesn't end on a cliffhanger, but it does set up for a possible sequel, which if it happens, might answer those questions. But for now, I just felt like the film was a little too short and kind of glossed over a few things that I was interested in. Also, and this goes to so many films these days, the trailer really gives away too much of what this story is. Remember in the preview I said we find out Iris is a robot? Well, you find that out in the trailer too. Man, that would have been a great reveal if we had no idea about that going in. That would have been a great aha moment, but instead we already knew that going into the movie. These, however, are minor complaints for an otherwise well-acted, interesting, and an entertaining film. So, Companion is an absolute delight of a film. It's shocking without being overly gory or nasty. It constantly escalates the stakes with striking sci-fi images and a really, really solid ending. It's a fun and memorable movie with plenty of unique flair. It's an absolute great addition to this genre.
I loved it.
Well, that's it for me this week. Tune in next week where I give you my thoughts and feelings on whatever I've seen. In the meantime, click that like button, subscribe, leave a question or a comment, share this video with friends and enemies alike, and as always, thank you for giving me your valuable time, and I'll see you next week. Take care.